Welcome to Coffey Talk, real stories from real people. I'm your host, Kate Coffey-Bacon, and every Monday we'll sit down for honest conversations about successes, failures, and the lessons we learn from both. So grab your coffee, settle in, and let's talk. Hello, and thank you for tuning in to the very first episode of Coffey Talk. This is the start of something brand new for me, though I'm not new to podcasting. I'll talk about that in just a few minutes, but this is the start of something new. This is something that I've been brewing on, if I may, for the last probably year and a half of really wanting to start a podcast, but wanting to narrow down and figure out exactly what I wanted to do with it, and something that would resonate not only in my professional community, but also in my personal community. So I landed on Coffey Talk, and a little bit about what that means. I think a lot of my relationships do come from the work that I've done. I've been in marketing for a little less than 25 years, and I've done a lot of things, and I've met a lot of really incredible people with really incredible stories. Huge stories of successes, huge stories of failures and what they learned and how those failures made them better. Stories of dreams of what they want to do. And, I wanted to give people a place to talk about that. I say when there's something that we need to talk about, I'm like, you know what, let's just talk about it. And that can be good things, that can be bad things, that can be all the things. So that's what Coffey Talk is. It is real stories of real people and the inspiration that you can draw on for maybe the person that's standing next to you. So for this episode, I'm going to talk a little bit about my career. If you play two truths and a lie with me ever again, you're probably going to have all the insider information because it's all going to be right here. Because I've done a lot of things, and some of the things that I've done, people are like, whoa, like you've had a really incredible career. I truly have. And let me say, I've only just begun. In the words of the Carpenters, I've only just begun on my career journey, and I'm really excited about what is in the future for me. But let's talk about my career journey. I have a dual degree, one in marketing and one in public relations. Public relations still a thing? I don't know. Maybe that's another podcast. But I have had a really vibrant and amazing career, and I've done lots and lots of incredible things. And most importantly, I've worked with some remarkable people in my 22 years. So I'll go through a little bit of my career, some of the highs, some of the lows, some of the things I'm really proud of, and maybe some of the things that I'm not. And talk about some major turning points for me. Some of them might not be what you would expect in a professional career. Let me back up and talk about the early days of my career. I graduated from college 22 years ago and stayed home with my kids for a couple of years. I do have 3 grown children that are off doing amazing things in their own right. But I stayed home with them for a couple of years and ended up working very part-time for a smallish gym in my little town that I lived in. And I was helping her to market herself, some of the really amazing amenities of the gym, and honestly, the killer instructors that were there. During that time is where it kind of started my deep love of yoga. I was certified to teach yoga in a group fitness setting. I went on to get my 200-hour yoga teaching certification. I don't teach yoga anymore, but that was definitely a very big part of my personal journey, is my yoga journey. So very cool part of how it all just kind of works together. And I believe that one thing leads to another. So while in my small town, I started taking some pictures of my friends and their children. We all know how fast our children grow up. and phases just melt away so quickly. So I started taking pictures of children, and in that was contacted by a wedding photographer that lived up in Canton, Georgia, and we had a mutual friend, one that I hadn't seen since my high school days, and he had taken notice of some of the things that I was doing, and he said, hey, I think you need to call Kate and see if, maybe she can help you out. Her business was growing, and she needed associate photographers. So she contacted me. I went and met her, Brandon Lee, like what a jewel of a human being. And she trained me in how to shoot weddings. I worked with her while simultaneously launching my own brand. Blackbird Photography was the name of my company, and worked with her for about a year and a half while building my own business. She was completely supportive of that. And then I took off in my business, and I founded my business on strong marketing principles. One of those being I never marketed to the girl with the shiny ring. I always marketed to the venue. And knowing that in the wedding planning process, when you market to a venue and you have a relationship with the venue, they'll refer you to the bride. So I really had a career. I was very fortunate in wedding photography. My career just launched. And like I said, I shot weddings for about 10 years. About year 8, every year I doubled, which is kind of fair to say. Around year 8, I was shooting over 50 weddings a year. I had a studio, a beautiful studio in East Cobb, where I live in Marietta, Georgia, and had associate photographers. I was nationally published. It was a really fun time to be a business owner and to learn and discover new technologies, even in photography during those days. So pivotal moment for me came when my son was recruited to go play in Junior Olympics for volleyball. Huge moment for him. And I watched him playing in Junior Olympics on my phone while shooting a reception. It was that moment that I really felt like I was doing my family a disservice, that I wasn't there for them in the ways that I had needed, the way that they needed me to be there for them. Specifically, I wasn't there for their big things. I was shooting weddings almost every weekend, sometimes 2 or 3 in a weekend. And by the time Sunday afternoon came around, I was absolutely exhausted and needing to stare at a white wall for about a day and a half. So I made a decision right there that night that I would, of course, fulfill my contracts, that about 18 months of contracts ahead of me, but that I was going to shut down my business and I was going to focus on other things, specifically my children. So I closed Blackbird Photography, and after, 4 or 5 months, was out on the job search and found a really amazing role working for some angel investors. They kind of had a deal. They said, you can have our funding, but you also have Kate. So I worked with them. A lot of the business were established and just looking to either scale. Some of them were startups. So I worked with some of them on go-to-market strategy. I worked with some of them on how to scale. So in that experience, I got different levels and variations of business and understanding of business and where they are and how you can jump to the next level based on where you are. We also had a podcast during that time. We were live on air every morning at 9:00. It was recorded, and we talked about go-to-market strategy, from go-to-market strategy all the way to an exit plan, and absolutely everything in between. I was over content for that programming. So I was just writing all the time. I was writing strategy. I was writing digital content. I was writing content for radio shows. I was doing tons of research on every part of business and business strategy. And man, oh man, how that has served me as I've moved forward in my career. I am a deeply curious person, and I read these books. These bookshelves behind me is not just decor. It's books that I've read, and some of them I live by. So that was also like a really amazing time to be a professional, to be to stepping in and upping my game in my career. We pulled on entrepreneurs that we met in the community, some that I knew from various networking groups that I had been in that had really amazing stories. And that is the thread throughout my entire career, is the people that I've met and the stories that they have to tell and the lessons that I've learned from these very influential people that have been in front of me. So going back to Coffey Talk, that's why I started it. I had this idea of a podcast, and if I talked to you a year ago, I might have said, yeah, I'm going to start a podcast, and it's going to be about book reports. I'm going to, bring on some people that I know, and we're reading the same book, and we're going to talk about it. But the more that I've thought about it, and the more that I've brewed on it, if I can use that one, the more that I brewed on it, the more I just really felt like I wanted to give some of the people that I've met and have yet to meet a space to share their story. So that is what Coffey Talk is all about. And, one of the things, gosh, I have other rabbit trailing of other parts of my career. I worked for a marketing agency where we write digital marketing strategy for various clients, mainly attorneys. My favorite client at that agency made women's professional shoes, and you could change the way they looked by accessories. It was brilliant. They were really comfortable. They were really comfortable shoes. So even in that, just in learning how to speak to a target audience and identify a target audience, B2B, B2C, identifying who and what you're speaking to and how you need to convey the message. And that is very important, how you're going to convey the message as we've moved into a more kind of modern age of marketing. Understanding generational differences and how to reach every generation has become a very big part of my story. I do, as a side note, I do have 3 dogs, so you will see them. There is Murphy back there. You will see them pop in and out of every episode. Maybe if you call out seeing one of my dogs, I'll send you a lollipop or something. But Murphy is joining me right now. You'll see the other ones. I have Bowie and Maggie as well. Back to Coffey Talk. I've talked to my daughter several times. I have a 20-year-old daughter. She is a junior at the University of Tennessee. I've talked to her. Several of her friends are marketing majors, and they're all like, you're a marketer. Should I be a marketer? Is this a good career path for me? And my answer is always 100% yes. I say 2 things. Number 1, people always want to do business with people. AI is here. It is a part of our work life. For me, it is a work companion. It is a tool that I use every day. There is no way that AI is coming for my job. It is imperative that I know how to use AI to do my job, but it is not coming for my job. People still crave relationships, and people still crave people. So I always say marketing is absolutely still a phenomenal career to go into. But the other thing that I say is, this is my business advice always. And this is the thing that I've done, seen, and I believe in my career. And I learned this from my father. So Steve Coffey, thank you for this. Be the hardest working person in the room. Be the first one there and the last one to leave. And this is the simplest, yet sometimes most difficult principle. Always be kind and always add value. I think in doing that, in doing those things, has really afforded me an amazing career of meeting people that have infectious stories. So what can you expect on Monday mornings at 8 o'clock from Coffey Talk? You can expect real stories from real people. Relaxed coffee table style conversation. These are going to be people from all walks of life, all voices, people that I have known for many years, people that I've known for many months, and some that I have yet to meet. And that kind of is the most exciting part, is that I haven't even met some of the guests that will be on Coffey Talk. Very cool. So Mondays at 8 a.m., build that into your Monday morning ritual, 10 to 20 minute episodes that will inspire you and jumpstart you for your week. Thank you again for joining. I will always say thank you for listening and for spending your Monday morning with me. I say there are 3 resources that we have. We have time, knowledge, and money. If you don't have one, use the other 2 to get it. Give you a second with that one. Time, money, and knowledge. If you don't have one, use the other 2 to get it. So if those are 3 of the most important things that we have to use at our disposal, I thank you so much for spending your time with me for Coffey Talk. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe so you never miss a Monday morning chat. Until next time, I'm Kate Coffey-Bacon, and this has been Coffey Talk.